What we have here is a review of the brand new Jackboys and Travis Scott project, Jackboys 2 Electric Boogaloo. No, god damn it. Not every sequel is Electric Boogaloo. Not every sequel is Electric Boogaloo. Stop doing that. You have to stop doing that. It's just Jackboys 2. Now, listening to this project, it reminded me of this random moment. I was in the car with my wife, and I was playing the major label debut from Travis Scott, Rodeo. And she was surprised to learn that that was Travis Scott because she was like, he sounds so different. It's strange. And as the further and further we get away from that debut record, it is strange because on that album, Travis Scott was very adventurous, creative, enthralling. It's arguably one of the greatest trap records ever made. Now, ever since his sophomore record, Birds in the Trap Sing McKnight, it's very clear that Travis Scott found a sound, harnessed it, it was very marketable, and he chose to carry that sound from project to project up to this very moment. Now, because of that, a lot of his output you could say has been a little boring, a little trite, not up to par. And, it is a shame because I do know that within Travis Scott, there is a lot of great creativity. Now, with all that being said, this album, to me, isn't terrible. It's not the worst thing I've ever heard, but I also have no idea what exactly is the point of this project. The thing is, this is not a new Travis Scott album. It's a Jackboys album. But who are the Jackboys? Because I know who's in Wu-Tang Clan, I know who's in The Roots, Odd Future, Tribe Called Quest, so on and so forth. But who are the Jackboys? Because on the first Jackboys compilation project, it featured a bunch of artists that were associated with Travis Scott, and that group has grown bigger and bigger over the years. But on here, you have a plethora of guest spots from various artists, like Future, for example. Is he a Jackboy? Waka Flocka Flame. Is he a Jackboy? Glorilla is on this project. Is she a Jack girl? You also have features from Sheck West, Sofago, Don Tolliver's on here, and every time I hear Don Tolliver on a project like this, I always feel like I could use more Don Tolliver. But then when I listen to an actual Don Tolliver album, quickly I'm like, that's enough Don Tolliver. Now, the thing with this particular project is that a lot of these tracks sound like songs that have been inside of Travis Scott's hard drive for many years, like leftovers dating back all the way to Astroworld sessions or something. Nothing on here feels particularly essential, but again, I don't think it's awful. I mean, when you compare this to other trap records that have released this year, I feel like that this is maybe better than 70% of the stuff that I've heard, and I've heard a lot of trap records. I mean, the thing is, people are clowning this project for the most part on social media, but the thing is, and I've said this before in the past, the internet is not the real world. That will forever be true because if you were to look at social media, you would think that Travis Scott is really down bad, like his career is over. But as far as I can tell, Travis Scott will be fine. He'll continue to sell out large venues, get all the endorsements, and sell millions and millions of records. Now, with that being said, that doesn't mean this record or some of the output that he's had recently isn't very good. It's just that this is not as bad as I think people are trying to say it is, because the same people who are trashing this album are the same people that I've noticed say, like, the Lil Baby record that came out earlier this year was good, or the Playboy Cardi record that came out earlier this year was also good. Personally, I think this is on par or maybe a little bit better than those records. Honestly, for me, if you're a person who thinks that this is just incredibly awful trap music, the only way that I can understand why that may come off that way to you is if you're carrying this on a certain pedestal as far as in comparison to Travis Scott's other work. Like, if he's reached this level, then you expect something to be somewhere around that. That element of it, I could understand. But for someone who's just into this particular genre of trap music, I don't see how you can listen to this and just think eh, it's pretty solid. But again, this is Travis Scott or Jack Boys, whoever the fuck the Jack Boys are. But because it's technically a Travis Scott compilation project of some sort, you do expect a certain level of creativity, a certain standard has to be met, and that standard is not met. Honestly, the way things are right now with Travis Scott musically is just really disappointing because I used to be a really big fan of Travis Scott. When I first heard Rodeo, I felt like, wow, this guy is going to be something really special for a really long time. And technically, I was correct. I mean, he is still one of the biggest stars in the world, but he's kind of been coasting for a few years now. And I just feel like it's pretty much impossible for us to ever get the Travis Scott who made Rodeo or any of the projects prior to Rodeo. It's just, I don't know, now officially cookie cutter. And that's a real damn shame because, again, I know the level of creativity that's inside of this artist, but now he's just too busy making sneakers and having Happy Meals or something like that. It is what it is. 4 sticks of butter, peace, love, butter.